Continuing in the Garden of Emuna, we're on page 218. Everything has its hour. The rabbi continues to explain to us how to use the tremendous power of Emuna. And he dives deeper into a person that has Emuna and a businessman that has Emuna, but again, it doesn't matter what's going on in your life. It doesn't matter who we are. We all have personal effects. We all have, some people have own apartments or own a condo or a house or two or cars. Everybody has things. Businessmen maybe have inventory. So the rabbi speaks specifically about that, but the example applies to all of us. So the rabbi explains over here that a businessman who has inventory, and he needs to understand that that inventory has full hashgacha pratit on it. Every single piece of inventory you have, whether it's a $20 million mansion or if it's a tube of toothpaste, it has its time, it has its place, it has its who's going to buy it, and this is all ordained from Hashem. There's a Kabbalistic thought that we have sparks of spirituality that are in different types of, in different items, physically and spiritually. And each one of these things has sparks that tries to attach itself to different beings or different things that it needs in order for it to receive its sustenance. Reb Nachman explains a little bit further on this, that whatever is required for your tikkun is what you're going to receive. Meaning, there's nothing in your life that you don't need for your tikkun. There's nothing in your life that's not connected to your neshama. You think it's just random that the phone that you have is the phone that you have? No, the IMEI was made for you. This is, it's not random when you get that potato and this steak and that shirt or whatever it is. It doesn't make a difference what the thing is. It's all lefi your neshama. So if a transaction ends up happening, we have to know one thing, that it happened because Hashem decided that now's the time to happen. The tikkun, let's say a person has a house and he wants to sell his house so he could go live in a different neighborhood. So he sells his house. Well, sometimes it takes a long time to sell your house. Why? Because you weren't ready. The spiritual sparks that were in there weren't ready to leave you. And therefore they weren't ready to be transferred to the next person. And therefore it has to stay by you until the tikkun is done. For whatever reason, for whatever purpose. But the unbelievable thing here is we have to realize that Hashem controls everything. Why is this a very, very important thing? Because once we get this concept well, that we understand that Hashem controls everything, we'll start praying more. And we'll start using our Emuna as a tool to, I don't want to chas v'shalom say manipulate Hashem, but that's what tefillah sort of is in a way. When we're crying out to Hashem and we're praying out to Hashem. It's a tool that Hashem gave us. Hakol kol Yaakov. It's a very, very special tool. And we somehow have a way to control things. And we see tzaddikim control things. How do they control things? Because they pray. Because they pray. That's it. Simple. Tefillah helps. Tefillah. That's all. For example, the rabbi gives us example. Person has this carrot in the store. So the carrot that's destined for this person, his wife will end up getting that carrot somehow. Whatever it is. If you think it's just random, yeah, I did it like I do it all the time. I go into the supermarket and I just grab it. I didn't do anything special. Yeah, you may think it's very random, but nothing's random. The exact specific carrot that's connected to your neshama, especially for Yehudim, there's no question that the food want to attach to Yehudim, because you know the saying, you are what you eat. Yeah? It's an opportunity for the carrot I know it sounds a little bit silly, but it's an opportunity for the carrot to get a tikkun, to end up being nichlal in Am Yisrael, in Yehudim, especially if you make brachot and you bring a proper tikkun. But we're not going into all those type of things, but you are what you eat is definitely very, very real thing. And it becomes part of the neshama. That's why when a person, chas v'shalom, eats something not good, it's metumtam, it's metamtem nehentalev. Why? Because it becomes part of you. And that's tum'ah, and that's no good. So you have to stay away from all those things, especially with eating. The rabbis were very, very careful with eating things because it messes you up. It's not like another sin that, oh, I stopped it now. No, that timtum is part of you, and that's why it's very, very important. Everything that's destined for you is going to come to you. This example of a carrot is just a smattering of the vastness of the sea of hashgacha pratit going on just in your life. Forget about your friend's life and just your city, but the entire world and what's going on in hashgacha pratit. It's amazing that Hashem is controlling all these things with everybody and able to listen to everybody individually. This is an amazing hashgacha pratit that we're zoched to, and we could be zoched to now being able to understand, oh, Hashem does everything. Well, yeah, that means you're not doing it. That means you need to do something, you need to lose weight, you need to stop smoking, you need to make parnasah, but we need to start talking to Hashem and recognizing that He's the guy. He makes the stuff move. He makes the sale, He decides when, He decides who, He decides what price, and He decides exactly how things are going to go. Right? Because also, we know how many guys in business, they make a product. Wow, they think that this is going to be the best thing in the world. It's going to sell, and then he gets it, and he can't sell it for 10 cents. And no one wants it. Yeah? And then he gets some random thing that he's like, what is this item? And then all of a sudden Hashem does some crazy thing and there's a whole story behind it and you don't know. And I got in a check line and I made so much money. Holy cow, Rabbi. Because again, it's nothing to do with you, nothing to do with anything. It's about the spiritual sparks and tikkun and rectification. And every item has its time because that other item that you bought that you thought was going to be awesome, also eventually at some point, when God wills it, that it no longer needs you, it will then, Be'ezrat Hashem, be able to be transferred over to the next guy who will suffer with that product. So, Be'ezrat Hashem, we should be zocheh to living this emunah and recognize that everything is Hashem, and therefore, what do? Pray for it. Ask Hashem to help you, because He does it all. Hatzlacha rabah.